What up, what up? Tom T here with another episode of Comics and Cards, Together at Last. Nice important issue comic here today. We'll get to today on the card side, though, we're going to be busting a 1995 Topps Stadium Club Rack Pack baseball cards on the card side. But today we're going to start with comics, as always. On the left is where we're going to start today. We've got DC comic, The Phantom Stranger #1, released in June of 1969. This is actually the reboot of The Phantom Stranger, which was released earlier in the 50s, but this is the reboot. This is June of 1969, Phantom Stranger. The stories in here: when ghosts walk, when three friends die in a plane crash, the spirits seem to be haunting those left behind, but the Phantom Stranger reveals that the ghostly appearances are really the work of an embezzler attempting to cover his tracks. Interesting story there. 3 stories in this comic. The other story is The Hermit's Ghost Dog, and the other one is Defeat the Dragon Curse or Die, where the Phantom Stranger works to capture the culprit of a haunting hoax that has been trying to destroy modern buildings, which he believes are covering or messing with his Chinese heritage. So this was a 12-cent issue. This was the first and only 12-cent issue of the Phantom Stranger reboot in 1969. Now to get to our feature comic of the day, and this was an important one. Nice comic, Journey into Mystery, Volume 1, number 88, released January 1963. This is a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby special. This is the 6th appearance of the Thor ever, but is the 2nd appearance of Loki. Only the 2nd time Loki ever appeared in a comic book, and this is the issue right here. It's called The Vengeance of Loki. Following his defeat at the hands of Thor, Loki was sent back to Asgard, where he was punished by Odin, who declared he would never be allowed to leave Asgard again. Still wishing to gain revenge on his cursed half-brother, Loki was back for revenge. Loki escaped Asgard to seek revenge on Thor, but this time he was armed with Thor's deepest secret. He realized what Thor's secret identity was on Earth. So, in no time, he got Thor's hammer, but obviously Thor was able to figure out what was going on, turns the tide, and is able to trick his brother, the trickster. Very good story there. 2 other stories in this book. Behind Closed Doors was about a communist spy in America working in a factory, and then Long Live the Queen was the other story in there. But once again, important comic. 2nd appearance of Loki, not in the greatest shape, but only the 6th appearance ever of Thor. Only the 2nd appearance ever of Loki. So neat comic there. On the back, they're looking for some rare old coins back then. But a very well-read comic, but still in very good shape. You know, nice color, displays nicely on both these comics. Let's get to our Rack Pack 1995 Stadium Club Baseball. 17 cards total in the Rack Pack. 1995 Series 1 Super Premium cards, randomly inserted ringleaders, ringleader power matrix, clear cut finest, virtual reality, and crunch time are the cards we can look for in here. Hope everybody's doing well. Trying to hang in there on my end, which is all we can all do. Let's open this first section of our Rack Pack and see how we do. Right off the bat, we got a nice insert, Jeff Bagwell, ringleaders. Nice looking card there. Jeff Bagwell, ringleaders, 1995 Stadium Club Series 1. So we'll set that aside for sleeving. Nice Hall of Famer. This is just a virtual reality checklist card you get in every pack. And we got a Gary Gaetti with the Royals. That's our next card. Gaetti with the Royals. John Valentine with the Boston Red Sox. And we've got a Jose Canseco Crunch Time. Another insert. Canseco Crunch Time with the Rangers. Jose Canseco. Not a bad first section of our rack. Throw that piece in the garbage over there. That virtual reality cardboard checklist. see if we can get this second pack open. What will I do with my scissors? Well, we'll go from the other side. Wow, these are hard to open, I guess, huh? There we go. Go right down the seam there. Okay, here's our second panel. Deion Sanders, Hall of Famer in the NFL, not in baseball, but we'll sleeve it up and put it in our Deion Sanders stack anyway. Try to get this focus figured out one day. Nice look on Deion's face there. Happy about something. We got a Travis Fryman, Detroit Tigers. Stadium Club advertises the premium baseball card. We've got a Doug Million draft picks. Doug Million, Colorado Rockies. Jeff Facero for the Montreal Expos. Mike Perez with the Cardinals. Got best seat in the house for the Brewers. Best seat in the house. I don't know about that, but it's alright. And our last section of our rack pack coming up. I want to thank everybody for stopping in for another edition of Comics and Cards Together at Last. We got Roger Pavlik, the Texas Rangers. Best seat in the house, Atlanta Braves. Eric Hansen, Cincinnati Reds. Royce Clayton for San Francisco. Jeff Rebolet of the Twins. Start a new stack for Def. I already got his other one packaged up and ready to go. And a Kenny Rogers for the Texas Rangers before he came to the Tigers and put pine tar on his hands. Look it up. Anyway, that'll do it for today for this edition of Cards and Comics Together at Last. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Look for our next episode of Comics and Cards Together at Last. Take care, everybody.